Welcome to Money, Manifestation, and Business, the podcast that shows you how to use your energy, intention, and consciousness to reprogram your money mindset, unleash a new level of possibility, and create a life and business that lights you up. I'm your host, Jamie Berman, and I invite you to join me each week for a dose of inspiration, coaching, and teachings to help you rewrite your money story, create abundance on your terms, and grow your business in a way that's fully aligned for you. This is going to be so much fun. Let's dive in. Hi, friend. Welcome back to the Money, Manifestation, and Business podcast. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I am not just teaching or interviewing. I'm actually going to be coaching live on the show. And you're going to hear real questions from real entrepreneurs just like you about all things money, manifestation, and growing a business with alignment. And I'm going to be coaching them through the blocks, breakthroughs, and the big shifts that help them move on and create momentum. So think of this as pulling up the chair to a group coaching session. You're going to hear questions that you might have yourself. And the beautiful thing is that you can take the coaching and borrow any thoughts or perspectives or shifts and apply them to your own life and business. So whether you're manifesting your first client, you're scaling past 6 figures, or simply ready for more ease and abundance, you're in the right place. So excited for you to tune in to today's coaching session, and I hope you enjoy it. What can I support you with?
Yes, I have a question. Right now, I'm in a phase where I feel like nothing is happening. But a few weeks ago, for me, it felt like I have made like a shift. So this is kind of weird for me
Okay.
because a few weeks ago, I manifested 5 people in a masterclass, and I had 5 people, and I was very excited.
Awesome.
So and a few weeks after, a long-term client, she doesn't want to extend working with me, which is fine for me because she wasn't the most aligned client for me. So I'm also focusing on attracting more aligned clients.
Yeah.
And yeah, right now nothing is happening, no bookings, nothing. And I have like 2 voices in my head. It's
Okay.
like the one voice from like I think like my higher mind, which is like, oh, we can use this time because I have a planned launch in the end of July. So to focus on the launch, prepare for the launch, the
Yep.
product, etc. And then there's the other voice, which is like, oh, but we need to pay our bills. And when we have no clients, we don't have money. And then there's the other voice again. Money can come from different sources. And yeah, so maybe you have an advice for me because it makes me a little bit insecure.
Yeah, totally. So what I like to do also is kind of what I talked to. I love how you also are deciphering it. Like there's this wise voice inside, and then there's this more primitive, maybe younger voice inside. And like, so sometimes I like to work with both of them together so that they're not like competing with one another. So what I would do is I would separate, this is something that I kind of taught yesterday, was separating story versus facts. So I would look at what is true. What is true in terms of your brain's like, well, we need to make money, right? What is true? How much money would you need, right? This is what I want you to ask yourself to pay your bills, to get by. What do you actually need to survive? And that would be the circumstance.
Mhm.
And do you have that right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm like the July has started very well with the clients, and right now it's like kind of a dip. So I think I try to look for proof, as you said, to look for proof that it is working, and I'm
Yeah.
also like connecting or receiving new clients, which is also good to always
Right.
attract new clients.
Well, here's
And
the question that I have right now.
Mhm.
Right now, do you have enough money to get by in this moment today?
Today, yes. Today, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Today, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How much overflow do you have? Like, how long could you get by?
I think a week.
Okay. Yeah. So, what would be real then? Like, if you were to state it in a way that was more true, not just what your brain is saying. Your brain is saying, I need money, but that's not true. You have money.
Yeah.
What's more true?
I mean, I also thought like in the worst case, I could ask my parents. So, but it's not
Okay.
what you want to do. But I know it's
Right.
like my
To have
brain is
access to
like,
resources.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So when you tell yourself this, I have enough money, I got clients and they are paying up until now, I also have access to resources. How does that feel?
I feel more relaxed. It's like not so much pressure anymore. It's like more, oh, it's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. From that place of more relaxed, let's go to that emotion of relaxed. Can you access that in your body? From that feeling of more relaxed, more grounded, more I'm okay today, what comes about from there, from grounded?
Like, I mean, what I feel like is I should keep doing what I'm doing, still posting, showing myself, bringing value, and yeah, just trust. This is what I receive.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What would you want to believe, right? If you can make the rules of how money works for you and you can trust, what would you want the new story to be about your business, how money flows in, how it works?
I mean, I want the story to be that money is always around me and that I always have enough money and I also like have an overflow of money and that clients want to work with me and
Yeah.
that they are searching for me
Okay.
already. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm so glad this is being recorded because I want you to go back and watch this and I want you to either write it down or record it and listen to that story every single day.
Hmm.
Because the story we tell ourselves is what happens in our life. What we
Yeah.
decide to believe and what we decide to tell ourselves is what we create. If we say, I never have enough, oh my God, I'm freaking out, I'm in a dip, I'm in this, then we go to panic, we go to urgency, and we
Yeah.
just don't make the right decisions from that place. They're not the most aligned, grounded decisions. So, one of the best things you can do through this work of reprogramming is continuously bringing yourself back to the energy of grounded. Because notice
Mhm.
the difference in what it gets activated when you're grounded. All of a sudden, your higher self gets activated, your higher knowing gets activated,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, from here, what do you think the solution is?
I mean, I don't get like a solution like to do. I feel like there's not a to do, right? Because I don't feel like I'm not showing or something or not showing myself. So I feel like the to do is more the to do that I hear right now is relax. This is all I can hear.
Yes, 100%. Because the truth is, it's not going to be the actions that create the results. It seems like it would be like, but it's the energy that's driving the actions. It's the thoughts behind the actions that will create the results. That's why you could double down from panic and start making offers and all this and be freaking out and come to panic and make a bunch of offers, but things are not going to land from that place. You will not get the
Mm.
same results. Then if you say, okay, clients want to work with me, I trust this, I know how to make money, I make money in my business, I'm a money maker, it's all good. I trust that it always flows in. I'm someone who always ends up in overflow. And then you take action from that place, show up from your business in that place, you're going to get completely different results.
Yeah.
So right
Yeah.
now, it's about how you think, how you
Hmm.
choose to think, and how you choose to ground in, right? You said relax.
Yeah.
That right
Yeah.
there is going to make all the difference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
That's
Thank
the
you.
work. Absolutely. 100%. Exciting. Very exciting. I love it. All right. Hi, friend. Quick favor because I want to make this podcast the best it's ever been, and I need your help. If you would be willing to take a quick 60-second anonymous survey where I ask you simple questions about what you want to hear more of and a little bit of info about you as a listener, I will give you my big money hypnosis completely free as a thank you. Now, I normally sell this hypnosis for $50, but all you have to do is go to the link in my podcast show notes, click on that, take the survey, and on the very last page, after you submit the survey, you'll be able to download the big money hypnosis. And I am so excited for you to listen to that continuously and get comfortable having and manifesting big money. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi. That took me a minute to figure out.
I get it.
How
What
are
can I
you?
coach you on today?
Well, I kind of have it bunched up in my head, so
Okay.
I hope I can kind of get it out,
Yep.
right? But so this month I've just been thinking a lot about just getting more clear on our money situation, and I thought I'm like, oh, I have a decent handle on my money, but really just in thinking about it, I feel like I don't. And
Okay.
I kind of have my head in the sand a little bit. My husband takes care of the finances a lot. Well, he does. And
Okay.
then, we talk about it a little bit, but I just don't really have a good handle on things.
Okay.
And and we're doing okay, but it's kind of like we're just kind of like, I don't know, we're just kind of like floating in the wind, and
Yeah.
it's happening,
Okay.
but nothing is really intentional. And
Okay.
so I've been thinking about that a lot,
Yep.
and I was talking to my husband, and we're both on the same page. And so I'm going to start taking over the finances
Okay.
and helping him with that. And then we'll come together and have, our discussions and our talks and stuff. In the
Awesome.
meantime, we talked about kind of like looking at a budget, and
Mhm.
so I can get more clear on like what's going on. And then today we had an appointment with our financial advisor just to kind of get on track with our investments and stuff. And I guess this is where I kind of get confused, because I'm like, I want to have a good handle on our money,
Yeah.
but then the financial advisor is like, I think I've told you this before, he does kind of the Dave Ramsey thing. And
Okay.
so, he says things to us that we're not quite on board with at this
Okay.
point.
Yep.
Like, oh, if your business that you're working on, doesn't make enough money, then you can just quit that and keep doing your regular job. And we're like,
Okay.
no, we're not going to
Yeah.
give up.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
So there are things like that where we
Yep.
had things put in our head and we just said we didn't accept that. We're not going
Yep.
to accept that part of it. But I want to work on the budget and getting clear with my money and having a good handle on it. But I
Yep.
don't want to get like so down into the weeds that I'm like kind of cutting off any kind of manifestation. Does that make sense? I,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Of
I
course.
guess I'm kind of
Okay.
I don't know. I have these feelings, or these
Okay.
thoughts, but it's kind of hard for me to verbalize them, I
No,
think.
I get what you're saying completely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I first definitely just want to acknowledge you because I know that where you are now is a tribute to the work you've done around your relationship with money. And it's so amazing to watch the natural evolution of it as you do this work. It's like all of a sudden, it's not, I have to look at my money. It's like, oh, I want to, right? And I'm
Hmm.
seeing that as an intention of yours. I want to get a better handle of this. Like there's this desire to dive in and do that. So
Hmm.
my question would be, what makes you think that's going to harm the manifestation process or get in the way of it, I guess?
Well, I guess I don't want to be too stuck in the weeds of the budget, like getting
Okay.
like really like strict and like, because even
Mhm.
today, my husband was like, well, you make this, I make this, and it's going to take us 10 months to pay off this debt. And I'm
Okay.
like, but I was like, it doesn't have to be just your income, my income. I mean, there's lots of other ways that
Yep.
money can come to us that
Yeah.
we can manifest. And I said, because I used to work for the VA hospital, and there's a couple times where checks have just shown up in the mail, like
Yeah.
that I out of nowhere,
Yep.
or we got a big check refund from the dentist one time. I mean,
Yes,
so I'm
totally.
like, there's other ways to manifest things. So I am still working on like staying in that
Yep.
mindset of like, it's not just going to be what you bring in and I bring in. There's going to be other things
Yeah,
that just kind of come to us.
totally.
So I'm working on being open like that, but I guess I don't want to get like so stuck in the weeds of a budget because my husband's like, well, every month we can blah 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 blah, and I don't know. I guess I'm like, I want to do a budget to kind of see where our money's going.
Yep.
But I don't know if I want to be like super strict like that every month. Like, oh, this is how much we spend on coffee. This is how much we spend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Totally. Totally.
And I don't know. I guess there's no right or wrong. Because part of me is like, is that the right way to do it? Am I
Yeah.
supposed to do it that way? Or
Totally. Here's a question that I have for you. If you took on the belief, we actually do have a pretty good handle on our money. I actually do have a pretty good handle on my money. If you took on that belief, what would be different in the way that you look at this?
if I had, I probably would feel more confident in what I was doing instead of questioning, um, like, am I doing it right? Or,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. The other belief that I would lean into is that you get to do this in your way. There's no real like right or wrong way to do it. I think when it comes to finance, oftentimes we think it's that one super masculine, strict way, and that's the only right way to do it when we're budgeting every single dollar and all of that, that that's
Right.
the right way. And if we're not doing it that way, we must not be having much of a handle on it, or we must not be doing it right. And I will tell you, I've never done that in my life.
Okay.
And I believe that I have a great handle on my money. But that's for me, right? I'm not saying that that's right for everyone. I think we all just need to tune into what feels like the right way for us, given our circumstances and situation right now. Like, what feels the most natural, intuitive, doable, something we can stay committed to that actually feels good? Like, these are the types of questions I would be asking. And for
Okay.
you both to decide, like, what way feels right to you. If it's not necessarily the Dave Ramsey way that's 100% right, or it's not avoiding it completely, that's not, it's
Mhm.
not one or the other.
Okay.
It can be your
Yeah.
own way.
Okay. Because part of doing this, I'm feeling like I don't want it to be like super restrictive where
Yeah.
it's like depressing, and it's like I said, my husband's like, it's
Yeah.
going to take us 10 months to pay
Yeah.
that off,
Yeah.
and then you're like, it just sounds so long, and it's like 10 months of our life, when
Yeah.
I'm just like, I
Yeah.
just don't want to. I want it to be more like what you were saying, like more intuitive and what feels natural and what feels good, and that
Yeah.
like, oh, we're doing this, and like this is awesome, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes. So what
okay.
does doing it look like for you in a way that feels good?
I think, well, I think it was really good because, for one, I had listened to it before, but I listened to it again, one of the videos from this month's theme. And you were talking about, what are your assets? What are your
Yep.
debts? Things like that. And so we do go over that stuff with our financial advisor once a year, but it
Yep.
was like last year sometime. And
Yep.
so I just didn't really remember. So I thought that was really good just to kind of see what I
Yep.
mean, we're not broke,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's, even though sometimes it feels like a little bit of a struggle,
Yeah.
it just really opens your eyes to like, oh my gosh, we do have assets, and I mean, we're
Yes.
not broke.
Yeah.
We've done okay.
Yep.
And so that was really good just to kind of have that top of mind and
Yep.
to remember that, we do have money.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so I like that. And then just kind of having that as a reminder, I think is really positive. And then I think just for me, just having the budget, like doing it one time
Yep.
and kind of seeing where all the money is going, because like I said, my husband does it.
Yep.
For the most part. So sometimes I feel like I don't really know. And
Yep.
like when he wants to make a decision together, I'm like, well, I don't really know.
Yeah, totally.
I trust you, or what do
Yep.
you think? Or so I want to be able to do that budget just
Yep.
so I know. And
Yep.
then, I guess maybe going from there. I don't know exactly, but I just don't want to be doing like the tedious budget every month
Yeah,
necessarily.
totally. Yep.
Knowing maybe like, I know you had talked about like three buckets you have. I think
Yep.
like your spending and your high
Having,
value,
yep.
yeah,
Yep.
the
And
money market,
multiplying.
and then
Yep.
the investments, yeah. So just maybe having some specific budget buckets that we know that we're, contributing
Beautiful.
to, yeah.
100%. Yes. And I think it's all going to stem also the way in which you do it will stem from the belief we actually do have a pretty good handle on this. And
Mhm.
I'm building more awareness. That's what I think you're doing. You're not necessarily
That's
like budgeting. Sometimes that word can feel just restrictive in
it
and of itself,
does.
but it's like what I think of it is it's just an awareness tool whenever I go in and I look at where our money is going.
Mhm.
It's an awareness. Oh, I want to pull it back in this area a little bit, or oh, I don't like that we're spending so much on this. Like, let's pull that back, or let's put that money into something else. It's an awareness tool.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we told our advisor this morning, he always calls it an emergency fund. And it's like, we hate
Yeah.
that word because
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not trying to manifest an
Yep.
emergency.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we told him, we don't want you to call that anymore. Please call it a freedom fund.
I
And
love
so,
that. That's so
yeah.
good. That's beautiful. I
I'm
love
like, we
that.
have to come up with a different word,
Yep.
So it's like we're free to do these things like with the house or a
Yep.
car or the dentist or, whatever it is,
Yep.
that we're free to just write the check and be done with it and not have
So
to
good.
worry about it.
I love it.
I do have one other thing though. Like
Yep.
one of the things that I have noticed lately, I just didn't really think I had it. It's like I didn't think I had an issue, but one of the things is when I do look at our bank accounts, I do notice myself periodically when I don't. I guess it's when I don't like what I see. I just,
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, ooh. And I've just found myself doing that.
Yep.
And so I guess just getting some help with, I obviously have some thoughts around that and I'm not sure
Okay.
what exactly it is, except that maybe it's like, oh, there's not that much there. And I guess maybe just writing out my
Totally.
ideas about money and my thoughts. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
else to kind of do to work through that.
Totally. So I think it's okay to be honest with yourself and say, I don't like what I see.
Hmm.
And it's not permanent,
Right. Okay.
right? There's like an acceptance of this is what it is. This is not what I ultimately want, but this is also where it's at. I'm going to give gratitude for what we do have, but also like it's shifting.
Hmm.
And you're making me think like whenever I changed my relationship with my body in a huge way, and I used to always like try to lose weight from like hatred and all that, and I decided I was going to accept my body as it was. This also applies like with money, right? So like I remember I was like, well, how do you lose weight in a way where you don't hate yourself? How do I lose weight whenever I'm like, I actually don't like where I am, but I want to
Hmm.
lose weight, but I want to do it from love. And so I would step on the scale and I would say, this is where I am. It's not where I ultimately want to be, but I can accept it today and it's okay. And I can love myself today. And I can love
Hmm.
my body today and I can dress it beautifully today and take the best care of myself, but know that ultimately this is not where I know my hormones are mostly balanced.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I like to bring it to different things. So like how
Yeah.
could you look at your bank account in that way?
I think so. I mean, because it isn't permanent, and
Yeah.
I mean, we're always okay. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I mean, it never gets to a point where we're not,
Yep.
it just might not be exactly what I want to see. So I
Yep.
think that's a good idea, is that, thinking it's not permanent and we are always taken care of, we are safe,
Yep.
mm,
Beautiful.
and that we're
Yep.
just open to
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, and it's going to grow from here. You guys are doing amazing foundational work that's only going to make this grow, and you're doing it from such a beautiful energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I would look at. It's like, you don't have to look at it and say, I love that amount, but
Right.
right? Because then we're just lying to ourselves.
Right. But instead of cringing, I could,
Yeah.
yeah, change my thoughts and
Or
my beliefs
instead
about
of
it.
creating a story around it, oh, it's always going to be this way and it's always been and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you just decide the story you want to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
It's
I love
awesome.
that. It's
Thank you so
amazing work. Yes.
much. Thank you
It's
so much.
so,
I'm
so
excited.
awesome.
I feel
Yes,
good
me
about it.
too. Keep me posted.
I will. Thank you.
Yep. All right, Monica.
Thank you. And
Yes.
thank you so much for this time. It's always nice to get a little touch up. It's the
I know it
best.
helps, doesn't it?
It really does. Yes.
Absolutely.
So my question for you is, how do you know when or if maybe it's time to let go of something you've been trying to manifest?
Good question.
Yeah. I've been working in my business and, going with it for a while. And
Mhm.
we know that it, with your help went gangbusters.
Amazing.
Yeah. But thank you. The more I look around and get to know the people inside of the corporation that I have,
Yeah.
really no control over, I'm finding maybe I'm feeling like it's not really the right place. It's not like I don't feel like they're necessarily aligned with what they say they align with.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if it's even really the right place for me anymore.
So, how do you think you would know if it's time to let something go? Like, I want you to think about your life and something that you knew was ready to be released or you were ready for a change. How did you know?
I'll say tired. They're with work, certainly burned out, frustrated, generally unhappy, I guess.
Okay. And how did you know? What was it that made you? Was it like a gut response? Was there just a time where there came a knowing that it was time to pivot or release something? If you think back, how did you make that decision?
Gosh, the last time I made that decision, literally, I just threw my hands up in the air and said, I can't do this anymore, and walked away with nothing else to go to. I mean, the
Okay.
frustration and the stress of all of it
Yeah.
was just enough that I didn't want to live that way anymore.
Okay. So you just knew.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's typically how I know if I'm ready to let something go. If it just no longer feels in alignment, I just get to a point where I know it feels really clear. And I've had that for sure. Where do you feel like you are with the one you're thinking about?
Well, that actually is with my business.
Yeah.
I mean, I've grown, I've had success. I mean, you've watched. There are so many factors that are challenging for me to deal with. Like right now, I'm in Maryland.
Yep.
And I swear we've had no less than 3 monsoons over the past 2 months.
That's wild. I wouldn't guess that in Maryland.
Oh my gosh. I haven't been able to have someone cut the lawn.
Oh my goodness.
Because, with the mowers, they'll just get stuck in the grass and it won't be good. But yeah, I mean, just so much rain. And I think, maybe I don't want my income, my revenue to be so incredibly weather dependent.
Yeah.
It really is. And there's nothing that I can do. And I'm looking around, like I said, inside of the corporation. And one of the things that drew me to this place was their sense of core values. And the more I get to know them, the more I think, it's nice words.
Yeah.
But we're not really living that right now.
Yeah.
And I found my path with your help to actually being aligned to where and who I am and want to be, and to continue to create that. And maybe the hardest part in my mind, and maybe this is the answer of all of it, is that, I feel like I'm making money because I'm with a franchise for people that maybe aren't even in line with what it is. And yet I really still love, what I do, you know?
So what do you think as we talk this through, where do you think you are with it? Do you have a burning question about money, manifestation, or your business that you would like me to personally answer for you? If so, this month I am hosting a live call where I answer listener questions. And yes, that is yours included. It's totally free to join, and it's your chance to get personalized coaching and guidance from me. All you have to do is head on over to hello.jamieberman.com/ask Jamie anything. There, you can sign up for the next live call and submit your question. So if you've been wanting clarity, support, or a breakthrough, don't wait. Go on over to hello.jamieberman.com/ask Jamie anything, and I'll see you on the call.
I'm in that this is what I know and it's familiar and I'm really good at it. So I
Yeah.
hate to let it go
Right.
part.
Yeah.
And yet I'm having trouble keeping my heart in it. I'm having
Yeah.
trouble keeping my mind in it. A lot of times I'm working out of a sense of loyalty or maybe even
Mm.
responsibility to the people that I employ. And for sure to my customers, I
Yeah.
would never just, walk away and
Yeah.
leave, any of my customers hanging. And yet somewhere in there, I'm like, I know that I get to be at the top of the list from time to time. I don't
Yeah.
always have to be at the top, but
Right. It sounds like, just to reflect, tell me if this sounds accurate, but it's like settling for good enough. Like, it's like there's good things about it. It's good enough. There's things that I like about it, but it's not what I ultimately want for my life.
yes.
Okay. So, what are your options with it?
I could sell it.
Hmm.
I could consider hiring someone else to run it.
Yep.
I could obviously keep going with it. Or, I could just say, oh, it's yours. You keep
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's some options. And what's really fun is, manifestation. So you can tune in and see if any of these feel right for right now.
Yeah.
Because there's also a world in which you don't have to decide this right now, too. Or you might say, I'm ready to decide this.
hmm Yeah. So it's so funny that you say that because at some point I was sitting and doing some meditation with it. And I just asked the universe to send me just because I was in a mindset, just send me a
Yeah.
buyer out of the blue. Let's just see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
And so I kept two things. I kept like the name Bob buyer out of the blue in my
Yeah.
head just for fun.
Yeah.
I'm ready to meet Bob. Where is Bob?
Yes.
And that afternoon, I actually met a client named Bob, and I was laughing so hard that there was Bob.
Yeah.
And then, like a couple of days later, somebody who was interested in buying a business like mine called to ask me just questions about, do you like what you're doing? And I got that. Well, that's really interesting that just some random
Yeah.
buyer called me. So, on some level, I feel like the universe is sort of rising to meet me,
100%.
and yet there's that part that's like, but I worked so hard. I believed so big. I made it
Yeah.
happen.
Well, and that's the thing that I think it's like, that's all true. And what if that is all could be setting you up for something bigger than you even thought? That's why we put this or something even better for the highest good of all concerned at the end of our manifestations, because this could have been here as a stepping stone or as an evolution for you, where you stepped into belief. You learned how to grow an entire massive business. Like, you learned how to manage that business. And also, what if you could also decide you wanted to sell it for a super abundant price, and then you got to go do the next vision for yourself? Our visions don't have to be forever. You can put a lot of belief into something, and it's worth it for that time that you did it.
So that's, I guess, maybe an old thought that I need to re-examine, right? Because I
Yes.
come from that generation where you stay until you get the
Right.
gold pocket watch
Yes.
and you do the same thing for a million years. Whether you like it or not, you just
Right.
keep doing it.
And that's just what you get to question.
Yeah.
And I see this a lot with, I used to train coaches, and they would go through training, and then sometimes they would realize, I loved the training, I loved everything that I learned, but I really just want to go all in on my job. But they'd be like, but I put all this time into learning how to become a coach. I have to. And it's like, or not, or you just take everything you learned into your other job. Like, you're a coach for life, just like you are a CEO for life. Like, you get to bring all of this belief and everything you did into everything you do from here on out.
Well, you know what's so ironic about that is, you know, that I was a coach.
I know.
Right? So
Yes.
I don't even know where that went in my mind.
Yes, totally. See, you don't, it's like you let it go up. You didn't tell yourself, I have to be a coach. I can't take this energy
No.
into something
Yeah.
else. It's the same with this. And you give yourself permission to change.
Oh, that's really helpful.
And not to make it a negative thing, but as a positive thing of, I put all this belief into this, and oh my gosh, look what I've created as an effect.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
I have a feeling something magical is going to happen next, whether that be a buyer, whether that be you selling it for double what you thought you could. It's going to be really, really awesome.
That just feels so much better.
I love it. So good. Permission to change. 100%.
To change, yes.
Yeah.
And to take what I have with me. Like, I
100%.
don't have to leave it in a box behind me. I took my
No
coaching
way.
skills and put them here with my
Yep.
teams. And I'll take these
100%.
skills and move them forward into
The next
whatever is
creation, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, that's
100%.
so good.
Oh my God. I love it.
Thank
So
you.
excited. Keep me posted on everything.
I will.
All right. Love it.
You.
Bye, Monica.
Hi. Where I am is I own my own massage business,
Okay, cool.
and I've been open for like 6 years, but it was all like divine stuff where things fell into place, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of like overhead or spending
Yeah.
at first. So, and now I'm kind of at this place where I'm self-sufficient. I'm a single mom, homeowner. I do feel the weight of having to carry like myself and my
Okay.
son a lot.
Okay.
And I do get into fear
Okay.
and lack and scarcity. And I've been feeling like just such a shift in the last couple of days of like, oh, this is like remembering this is the work that I need to do is around energy. And I'm all about energy work. Like, I talk about energy work all the time, but this last month was probably like the scariest, where it was like after the first of the month and all the bills, I was like, you know, $200-300 in my account. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And I really struggled with coming to any sort of like abundance mindset.
Yeah.
And I did a scary thing, scary for me. I like never take out loans, but I decided to take out the Square loan that's always offered to me. Instantly like felt relief, and like this is when I've been opened up. I found your class, like
Yep.
I all of this started hitting at the
I
same
love when
time.
that happens.
I
Yes.
know. I just feeling like the freedom of having that cushion has
Yeah.
allowed me to like open up again.
Yeah.
There's that like teeny tiny part of me that's like, but that's gonna run out, and if you don't start making more money and all this, I'm just letting that like be like I'm
Okay.
right doing all this stuff. I think what I want coaching on, because like I understand what I need to do in the present moment. I
Mhm.
think it's like finding my story and my
Yeah.
origin story around money. And mine's interesting because my childhood was like, I was split between two households, one in Texas and one here in South Carolina, where I am
Yep.
now. I lived with my mom in Texas, and she married a man who, you know, said, I'm going to make you a rich woman. We're going to get rich and have this beautiful house, and I'll make all your dreams come true. And she left my dad, who is like a very sturdy, steady, blue collar guy
Yeah.
who's never left South Carolina, left him for my stepdad at the time. He made the millions, and
Yep.
I grew up never wanting for anything.
Okay.
And then I'd go visit dad and stepmom, who were penny pinchers, and there was almost
Yeah.
like this shame around like, is that why you're staying there? He wasn't very nice. Like,
Okay.
you know, is it because of the money? So then I
Right.
felt like a brat. There's like all this like stuff where it's like, okay, well, I know what living in abundance, not having to ask or want for anything feels like, but it never felt safe. I never felt like it was like real or there was an actual foundation. And lo and
Okay.
behold, like he lost it all, and like
Okay.
they struggle. So there's
Yeah.
like shame, there's like distrust, there's like, but it's like, but that felt really good. Like I love that lifestyle and I don't want to
Yeah.
feel ashamed for wanting it. And I want to
Yep.
feel like that is possible for me.
100%.
Yeah.
So what I'm
So,
curious about is
mhm.
how would you describe your relationship with money? Like if you were to describe this is how it is for me now, how would you describe that?
Doing the journaling and stuff has helped me like figure this out
Yeah.
is that I feel like a slave to money. So money
Okay.
feels like my oppressor. Like it's
Okay.
like I have to, work to the bone to make money. Like
Okay.
it's not an ally, it's not a
Okay.
friend.
So it sounds like it feels the opposite of what you grew up or with your dad, right? Around when he was making the money. It's the opposite of that, right? Where you are
Ye-
feeling like you have to kind of penny
Mm.
pinch.
That was like mom's side,
Yep.
very like free, fun with money.
Okay, mom's side.
It's very complicated. And I like, intuitively like felt that there wasn't like roots to his wealth because he
Right.
came from poverty. He made a big buck. He wasn't a trustworthy guy, not good at this, all of that,
Okay. So I
Yeah.
wonder, I just want to check in with you, but do you think
Mhm.
subconsciously you sort of associate like being in abundance and that overflow of not having to worry with not, it's like a lack of safety in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
it's
it
not safe. It can be taken away from
totally,
you in a minute. Mhm.
totally. So it makes sense why your energetic set point now then would be to be kind of in more of the like have to work hard for it, be in a little bit more of the penny pinching, have to be really intentional about everything because
Mhm.
there's a level of safety that you've connected to that.
Yeah.
Like that's safer than making a bunch and then maybe there's no roots in it and it's not grounded and you may lose it all.
Yeah.
So of course, like on a subconscious level, it's like you want to be here because it feels safer.
Yeah, and the ironic thing is like I'm not a penny pincher. Like I
Yeah.
can be very irresponsible with money
Okay.
because I have that thing going, you deserve that indulgence, or
Yeah.
like you deserve
Okay.
to buy those jeans or that
Yeah.
makeup. And then I'm
Got it.
like,
Yep.
that was so irresponsible,
Okay. Yeah.
you
Yep.
know?
Yes. Yes.
So I've
So
got like both sides still pulling at me a little bit.
yeah. So I think at the core, and there's probably many pieces and layers to this. It's never usually
Yeah.
like one thing or one story. Usually this
Yeah.
is work that we want to kind of work through a little bit over time. But I would say to kind of sum it up, the opportunity seems like it's going to be to create safety around big money and to let
Yeah.
go of the idea that having big money is not rooted, it's not grounded, it could leave. That
Yeah.
story right there is what's preventing you from stepping into that.
Yeah. I think you're so right. And there's
Yeah.
something that like you have been saying that clicked for me that I didn't realize was that I was making the connection between big money and unkindness, empty
Yes.
souls. Like I met so
Yes.
many people at the country club who
Yep.
were soulless or or went to church but then
Yep.
were doing like bad stuff, just hypocrites. And you're like, you can be wealthy and kind, you can be wealthy and generous, you can be wealthy and be a good soul. I'm like,
Yes. And I would add a couple more. You can be wealthy and grounded. You can be wealthy
yes,
and it be rooted in something safe and
that feels
permanent.
really good.
Yeah, that's the difference,
Yeah,
right?
like
So it's like
that
I forgive
feels so
myself for
much
buying into the misbelief that I have to be in the struggle for it to feel safe, or I have to work really hard for it to be grounded in something. That is just the illusion that you took on.
Yeah, or that you have to work really hard for it in order for it to be respected too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think your opportunity is now paving your own way of what you want money to be for you, right? Because it's not necessarily either of the sides that you saw growing up,
Yeah.
but now you get to decide, ooh, what's the aligned way that I want to do it?
And how can I blend these two?
100%. Maybe it's not even blend them. It's taking the
Yeah.
pieces that I like from this, taking the
Mhm.
pieces that I like from this. And maybe there's like a Lindsay way that's totally different too, where
Yeah.
there's pieces from places I
Yeah.
haven't even seen yet.
So yeah, I'm encouraged because it's opening me up to exploring like different ways of growing massage business because there's one channel, there's one way of making money as a massage
Yep.
therapist, hands-on work,
Yep.
but there are actually other ways. And so I'm finally like doing the work to figure out what those are. So
fun. You're opening new channels for abundance to flow in.
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
So good. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you. Yeah.
Thanks.
So glad we found each other.
I know, me too.
Divinely. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
So good. Awesome, Lindsay. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I've loved having you all. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this episode is something that you'll be able to add to your manifestation toolbox to come back to when you need a little extra motivation. If you like what you've heard today and want to take it deeper, you've got to come check out my signature coaching program, the Money Manifestation Movement. It's the place where you'll not only learn manifestation, but you'll begin to live it alongside me and an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing this work together. Head on over to jamieberman.com to learn more.